study on hip hop and what that means for Black men and creating a space for Black men to be successful. It's because of his vision that we have gotten the opportunity to create this space for you right now. His vision created and established the Black Male Initiative. So anyone who's interested or it plans on coming or is kind of looking at UCO, is already here at UCO, I encourage you to connect with the Black Male Initiative. It's just a powerful program for you. But he created the Black Male Initiative specifically for college students, and he had this vision to actually reach down into the high schools, right? And so he was like, you know what? I can't just keep this knowledge and this power to myself. I have to figure out how to start a pipeline, how to grow a pipeline. So he then creates what's known as the Black Male Summit. Have any of you guys come to our Black Male Summit? Couple? Okay. You're missing out. And unfortunately, we couldn't have it in the spring of this year, which is how this kind of manifested. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But he created Black Male Summit. And essentially, it's this conference. It's a one-day event, at least in its inception. It was a one-day event where we hosted upwards of 200, 300, 400 this spring. I think we're supposed to have something like 515 of you guys on campus, and you're literally engaging in conversations. You're talking to other students that look like you. You're talking to men, great men in the community like Mac, like Mr. McClain, talking about what it means to be a Black man, talking about the barriers that you guys face, right? So from there, we fast forward to this fall. We fast forward to summer of 2019. And so Stevie has gone, he's done the work that he's supposed to do. He's left his mark, he's set his foundation, he's kind of moving on to bigger and better things, right? And so we're sitting in this space that Stevie has created for us, and we're trying to figure out how do we grow this so that it's meaningful for our young Black men. And it just made so much sense for us to begin to conceptualize or think about creating a space where we could talk with you guys and you could talk with yourselves and talk with others from the community about becoming a leader. And so now we can fast forward to fall of 2020. With COVID and everything else, we've been able to create this space and start what's called the Black Male Summit Leadership Class. This is our very first cohort, so you are our very first set of guys to go through this class. And our hope is that by the end of the 5 sessions, you will know that, one, you're a king. I hope you know that all anyways, but maybe you don't, so I'll tell you that you're a king, but 2, that you're powerful. And your power comes in the knowledge that you gather and build and disseminate, and also in the brand that you make. And that's what they're going to talk a little bit about. How do you situate your power, and how do you create your brand? So that's all that I'm going to say. I know that that's probably not what you were looking for, Liz, but that's what you got. So sorry.
It was exactly what I was looking for. Can everybody hear me okay with this mask on? Okay. Before I talk about the next part, Asa, Devin, and Diallo are all part of our Black Male Initiative here at UCO. Incredible. I don't know if any of you want to say something real quick. Asa, I see you. Diallo?
Okay, my name's Asa. Nice to meet all y'all.
I'm Devin. I'm a freshman at UCO, and ever since I started with BMI, we started before school even started. They kind of just make you feel like you're already in a brotherhood, and you can talk to them about anything you want, and you feel comfortable about anything that you want, say anything that you want to say, and they just make you feel real good, and they help you with anything that you need, class, school, anything, personal life, all that. So it's very good.
What's up, guys? My name is Diallo Foster, and I am currently the lead mentor of the Black Male Initiative. So, like Devin just said, we try to make sure that you're in a family-like environment. That when you come on campus, that there's people you know, and you can truly grow it from UCO from the Black male perspective. So, if you are possibly looking at UCO, or if you have decided to come to UCO, please think about joining us on Black Male Initiative. I would love to see y'all join us. Thank you.
And you will have lots of opportunities to kind of hear more about it over the next few weeks. as Denise said, you are the first. This is pretty amazing. And right now you are the best. And we are so excited to have you join us. Over the next weeks, you're going to hear from incredible leaders like Matt, who are making a difference in the community, who have walked ahead where you're getting ready to walk. And they have a lot to share with you, a lot of great experience, a lot of great stories. And hopefully you will realize that you're already creating your network for the future with these amazing men. This is a chance for you to meet other folks. So I know y'all come from different schools and maybe you've never met anybody before, met each other before. But this is a chance to this is your network. If you look around, this is your family, this is your network. And over the next weeks, we're gonna build that stronger, and you're gonna build your brand, and you're gonna invest in yourself as a leader. And with the assignments that we have, they're pretty easy. It's 2 like little assignments, but they're going to help you for the next steps, whether that is applying to UCO or another college in the area, whether it's getting into your career already, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, this is what we're going to be working at for the next few weeks. And so the other important piece to this is when you complete this, you will earn a micro credential, which will go with you everywhere. So that's your certification that says, I have accomplished this, and you can put this in your resume that people can contact us and we can say, yeah, they are kings, they're awesome. So whether it's applying for college, whether it's a job, we'll be able to give that information out and you'll earn that certification. So now we get to the good stuff. I am very proud to introduce the incredible, the amazing Mr. Cordney McClain, who will give us some awesome.
Thank you, Liz. Liz be putting some on it, boy. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be in front of you. You are kings. But we're going to get into it. My name is Cordney McClain, but we can talk about that later. So by show of hands, who all in here knows who they are? You know who you are, right? Okay. Well, see, I used to struggle with that. Like to really understand not just what you do or what your hobbies are, what your interests are, and not the name your mama gave you, but to realize your uniqueness and to be able to express your feelings truthfully rather than reflect what you believe others just want you to do or say. The process of true actualization. Now, when I use the word true actualization, you know, people don't know what it means, but we'll talk about it. So I often ask myself, who am I? Who am I? Well, my name is Cordney McClain, and I go by Mac Woods, but I'm a man fighting to venture the ocean, holding on to too many wrong ways, drowning under too many strong waves of double consciousness, flushed with salt of discontent, all these student loans, and I never learned how to conquer the current sea. I anchored a couple degrees and still drowning in broke. Self-deliberating, I look in the mirror and see the holes in the bottom of the boat. Insecure I am. It makes me hate people I don't even know, like my unfamiliar self. But I am a heathen, though. Thought I believed in God. Maybe he ain't believe in me, but I pray a lot. I hope you know my heart. A pessimist drinking from a cup half full. I'm also a father and a husband. Staying up in the darkness, rechecking locks, tucking them in for the 3rd time. Okay, once more. Okay, once more. Okay, once more. One day, my youngest asked me, Daddy, how you know how to be such a good daddy? I told her, it come easy, baby, when I'm just giving you everything I never had. I am heartbroken. I am heartbroken, but inspired. A bright mind on top of dark thoughts, my ancestors' wildest dreams. I'm my favorite books and songs composed into a compilation of the native sun on the pulse of the morning, layered with the message of the coldest winter ever. Look into my eyes and become well-read with a profound ear. See, I'm my mama's eggs over easy. Fried potatoes with onions with the sausage a little burnt around the edges. Humming to when doves cry on Saturday morning cleanups. I am the manuscript, dear black boy, breaking the universe's 3rd wall when he hears the height of his possibilities for the very first time. I am all these things, and therefore alchemy exists. So that everyone will search for their own treasure, find it, and then want to be better than what they were in their former life. To do so, you must know who you are. So I ask you again, who are you? And when trying to discover that, the question is essential when developing your personal brand. But what is a personal brand? It is often seen as a self-serving part of job hunting most of the time. But it's very important for the personal brand of a Black man because people will put perceptions, they put stereotypes on top of you, and you have to understand how to break them. You have to understand also how to take those stereotypes and use them as a tool. And you have to understand the term of code switching. Code switching is usually a term that people look down upon, that you're acting white, or you're tap dancing for the man, or you're assimilating into the majority where you lose a part of yourself. But I don't agree with that. You use it as a tool. So we're going to go into it. If you can share your screen, Liz, and then we'll go into the PowerPoint. All right. So we can go to the next contents. All right. So first, why personal branding? We'll go into personality uniqueness, building your brand, your personal statement, and how to develop and create your personal statement, set your goals, and how to be active. Next, please. All right. So I love this snapshot. So Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers, right? So growing up, Jay-Z was my favorite rapper, and it's funny seeing the evolution of him. What you want to do when you're focusing on your personal brand is you're taking yourself from the old you to the new you, and not even losing yourself. You have to understand that to walk into these spaces, you're not focusing on losing yourself, but to just evolve yourself where you can still be comfortable in your own skin in these new environments. Now, going to recruiting surveys, 90% of respondents say that the use or plan to use social media in recruiting. So when we talk about personal branding, and I show you these pictures of Jay-Z, he looked a certain way with his with his gold in his teeth and with all the gold chains. But when he started going into different venues, different environments, he understand, okay, I can still enjoy my tennis shoes. I can still enjoy my gold chains, but in these venues, I might have to put a suit and tie on. And it's all about playing the game and understanding that in these environments, like I use the example, if you wanted to play football, you wouldn't show up in a basketball jersey. If you wanted to play basketball, you wouldn't show up with pads and cleats on. So it's dressing for the occasion. It's dressing for the environment that you'll be in. So, and for instance, a lot of companies are concerned if a candidate cannot be found online, if you're hiding something. And with a bit of work on your personal brand, you can control what companies learn about you without looking like you're trying to hide something. So a lot of people will say, well, if you're doing community outreach, why do you post about your community outreach? That's bragging. I disagree with that. Because I'm doing something positive, I'm gonna post it. Because I've had plenty of young men come to me and say, man, Mr. Mack, I saw you doing such and such in the community and it inspired me. And so when I have younger men telling me that, and then I have grown men and maybe men older than me, not even really my peers, telling me I inspired them because they saw something that I did online, or they saw that I'm posting about me helping kids here and there or mentoring or whatever online. That's essential. That's very much, that's words of affirmation telling me that I'm doing the right thing, one, and two, that they are recognizing, they're noticing what I'm doing. So when it comes to personal branding is another form of networking. I've literally been able to get paid gigs, either poetry or talking about diversity and inclusion, or just mentorship. I've got paid gigs from doing stuff for free, and then networking, me being in different environments, me being introduced to new job opportunities, volunteer projects, chances to meet new people. And those are the same ways that enhance my reputation. So a reputation in my field, a reputation as an expert in my field. And when you do so and you post it, people recognize it, and people continue to see you doing positive things. People will do this. they'll and think about this. This is human nature. So when you know a friend and you know him for he's a hooper, right? So anytime like a tournament comes up in Oklahoma City or something, and they want hoopers to come out, you're automatically going to think about the homeboy that hoops because he's a hooper. So so he naturally is the first thing in your mind, is the forefront of your psyche when you're thinking about these things, because you know you naturally reference him with that positive attribute. And that's the same thing that happens when you continuously post positive things about your uniqueness, your repertoire, and everything that you got going on online, and you're strategic in, okay, I want to be known as somebody that dresses well. So every time I get fresh, I put on my loafers, I put on my fitted slacks, I put on my little dapper fit, I'm gonna take a picture. What does that do? That directly coincides with people's forefront of their mind that, okay, Mac dresses well. This thing, it's a thing going on in downtown with fashion shows and men, they're seeking out men who like to dress well. I get tagged in a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook and Instagram for stuff like that, because people are associating me with dressing well and wearing suits. So when you establish yourself like that, it's going to strengthen your cause. Personal branding doesn't have to be selfish. Matter of fact, by getting yourself out there and connecting with others, you can also support your organization or your cause, or whatever you're passionate about. You can use your own brand to build awareness. If you want to build awareness for sickle cell, for breast cancer, for anything that you're passionate about, if you coincide that well with, I'm a positive person, doing positive things, I dress well, I always present myself in a respectful manner, I understand I'm a king, then that's going to coincide well with being associated with positive things from other people, and they're naturally going to want to pull you in. I've done plenty of free community outreach things that I showed up, showed out, was energetic, was motivated, and then it ended up taking me to a paid gig where I got paid a good amount of money just from doing something that I love in the first place. But I let people understand, I let people know what I was interested about, and what I was interested in, and the type of work that I was doing. You can use your own brand, like I said, to build awareness to multiple things. But you just have to understand that how you display your brand in person and online is very essential to making sure you get set up for the next opportunity. Next slide for me. All right, so defining your uniqueness. Highlight your strengths, discover what you stand for, be genuine and authentic, and stay consistent with your values. So the challenge here is knowing how to tell your story. Knowing how to tell your story with a limited amount of characters on the right platforms and to the right audience. So like I say, understand that, okay, I wanna, and this is when I was working in corporate America, right? Stuck in a cubicle, hating my job, but I understood that I loved helping kids, helping young professionals. I love writing and reading poetry. These are the things I love. So how can I do that and eventually make money at it? And how you do that is becoming very well, becoming great at what you enjoy doing. But you have to understand how to tell your story and to be in those spaces and say yes to things. So be in those spaces and then being in front of the right audience. The right audience will set you up for your very next opportunity. That might be the big opportunity to help you develop your message and build your own brand in a compelling way to stay true to who you are while following the next few steps. And we'll work through the next few steps. So define what makes you unique. When building your brand, it's important to determine your strengths and what you want your brand to stand for. Start by making a list of what you're great at. You know, if you're great at drawing, if you're great at public speaking, if you're great at cooking, if you're great at playing basketball, but you necessarily don't want to be on a team, just think about the things that you really enjoy doing. If you're great at STEM related things, if you love science, if you love math, those are things that you're passionate about and that you do very well. So in the digital age, you know, the advent of personal brands has never been like more prolific. So if you are online, you can really sell yourself now, and it's important to make yourself stand out, be authentic, and capitalize on what truly makes you unique. Like you don't like, for instance, you don't really see a lot of brothers, you know, on social media out there teaching math and really, really passionate about math and wanting to teach other Black kids about math. You don't see that type of stuff. So if you're really into that, or engineering or science, man, that's a niche for you. That's a niche for you. And if you're a young teenager and you have a niche for STEM, man, some companies that'll pay you right now for you to come in and teach a certain type of way, especially if you have a unique way of teaching. So you really want to be strategic on how you build your brand, but you have to be consistent within your values. So I always tell people I have like 5 things that you'll see if you go to my social media, which is my Instagram is Mac, MAC _ since 1985. Go follow me, I'll follow you back. But you'll see like 5 consistent things on my IG, right? Either I'm talking about fashion, family, poetry, community outreach, and lifting weights. 5 things. I don't really go outside of that. So I literally in 1 week, I'll talk to, for instance, UCO BMI, Black Male Initiative. I'll talk to you about branding because people understand that I have a passion for branding and helping young Black men with professional development. But then later on this week, I have a presentation over diversity because people understand that I do like to teach and I have a passion for diversity and inclusion. You know, I'll have these different windows of opportunity in a short span of time because I'm getting contacted by multiple people because they understand that I have these different passions. And if they reach out to me, honestly, for the most part, I'm going to say yes because I'm interested. I'm very interested and passionate about those 5 things. I even sit on the board of different venues that want to talk about fathers who have little girls. I have 2 little girls, a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. And so when I'm introduced and pulled into conversations talking about being a father, that's very important to me. So and then I kind of train people on the side. So when it comes to fitness, you know, I pulled into those things as well. So and these are a lot of these opportunities I don't go out and really look for. It's the way that I present myself. So you have to understand when you're trying to build your brand, you have to be very consistent with your values. And when you're consistent with your values, opportunity honestly will come, it'll come looking for you. Next slide, please. All right, building your brand. Determine your brand, do a brand audit. So determine your brand. What is your brand gonna be? So right now, I'd like to open it up for a little discussion. Anybody, what is your brand? What do you feel like your brand is right now at what, 17, 18, 19? What's your brand?
Well, if I had to say, it's probably somewhere centered in like filmmaking, I guess, because that's my passion, my biggest passion. But I'm sort of trying to supplement that with this production company I'm trying to start. But it's one of those things where you won't have the resources for a long time. So I mean, it's kind of discouraging, you know.
Okay, so we're gonna stay. I appreciate you, Nathan. We're gonna stay on you. So brand, young filmmaker, right? So the next step, have you done a brand audit? Have you ever Googled yourself? And I'm talking to everyone now. Have you ever Googled yourself? Because when you Google yourself, that's how you find out real quick what other people are gonna see automatically. So you have to do a brand audit. If you pull up a lot of things that are not consistent in your values, then you need to wash your social media out. And now a lot of that stuff won't go away, but now you can revamp yourself and understand, okay, I'm a young filmmaker. My name is Nathan Wright. I want people to be able to pull me up and know what my passion is. So that means if I got a whole bunch of random memes on my Instagram or my Snapchat or whatever, if it's not consistent with what I want you to know about me, that means I need to put a different strategy on top of how I present myself. The second one, you have to mold your online presence. So I have this little schedule that I have in my phone. I know Mondays, I'm going to do something motivational. Tuesdays, I'm probably going to do something poetry related. Wednesday, I always talk about either my wife or my little girls. Thursday, I'll do a throwback. And the throwback usually has something to do with self-actualization and talking about who I was to who I am now. A Friday is Friday Flex. Either I'm gonna post something maybe about working out or being fresh. So I might post me in a suit or something. So I have this consistency with my values, and they end up lining up 5 days a week. But that's molding my online presence. So you'll never go on my IG or my Facebook and see some random meme that I don't want to align with my online presence or with my values. And that's how you mold your online presence. My LinkedIn is consistent. My Instagram is consistent. My Facebook is consistent. Now, I try to get on Twitter, but man, Twitter is hard. I was trying to get my followers up. If y'all are good at social media, man, I might hire one of you. But trying to get my Twitter up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my Twitter up. But and then some people told me to get on Snapchat, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like you get in trouble on Snapchat, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But like just trying to make sure that I'm consistent with molding my presence. The next one, introduce your personality. Like for instance, one of my favorite personalities that I've been following for like 6 years on YouTube is Beast Mode Jones. Beast Mode Jones, he has this whole character where he teaches you how to lift. He teaches you about nutrition and everything like that, and he gives you some life lessons. But at the same time, he's vulgar. He's vulgar. He says stuff like, now this is not my quote, this is his quote. He says stuff like, to get a big back, you gotta do rows for the H's. You know what I'm saying? And he rhymes everything, right? So but that's like his little niche, right? A lot of people are not doing that, especially 5 years ago. So the different type of niche that you find, you have to be consistent with it, and it's entertaining. So find what your personality is. If you are more energetic, be energetic online. Show if you're passionate about what you care about, be passionate online. Don't try to tone it down. Don't tone yourself down for anyone. Be exactly who you want to be, and I'm telling you, people will appreciate it. Next slide, please. All right. So take about 10 seconds and just check this out. You got billionaire Robert Smith, you got Pac, you got 3000, you got Barack, Denzel, Pimp C, AI, J. Cole, Mayweather, LeBron, of course, Young Thug, 50 Cent, Kodak Black. What do you get from these images? And talk to me. Tell me what you get from these images.
Black men who are successful in life.
What do you get from the image? What they're wearing? What does that tell you? Or what their actions are, what they're doing at that moment? What does that tell you?
I feel like
about their personality
defines them. Because like when I look at the one of Floyd in bed and he's got all that money, if you know Floyd Mayweather, all he does is flash his money everywhere he goes. And then I'm looking at the Kodak one, and Kodak, he's known for he can't stay out of jail, and that's a mugshot. So those are two of the biggest ones that stand out to me.
Exactly.
I see the brand. I see that's what the brand is. It's what gets your attention whenever you think of. Like he said, whenever you see Kodak thinking out of jail, whenever you see Floyd, you see money. So that's the brand that gets your attention. That's what they really revolve around. Maybe it's on purpose, maybe it's not, but it's what they're known for.
Right, right. So, so I'll go to Young Thug. Young Thug, you know, this whole him in the dress thing. I mean, that was all that broke the internet when he did that, you know. But that was showing his brand of I don't care. I'm going to be eccentric. I'm going to be all these different things, and it's going to embody my personality. And I don't care what you think. I mean, the brother's in a dress, so obviously he don't care what you think. You know what I'm saying? And some of it is to get attention. But you see LeBron. LeBron is a very much family oriented. You see Pimp C. I don't know, you guys are young, but if you know anything about Pimp C, he was always spitting pimpology. It was always about pimp, 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 money, money, money. You talk about AI. AI is if you look at any documentaries over AI, he's a great dude, a great respectable dude. But the whole practice thing, oh, that still follows him. And the whole practice, we talking about practice. We're not talking about a game. We're not talking about a game. We're talking about practice. I mean, that whole thing went viral for a long time. But what that did was that made people think that he wasn't like a Jordan or a Kobe in the sense that he wasn't hardworking. But anybody that ever even played with AI will tell you he was one of the most hardworking players that they've ever played with, they've ever been on a team with. But what and like Tupac, anybody that knew Tupac when he was alive would always say that he had these different personalities that he would put on. But if you go by what the media says, for the most part, he was vulgar, roguish, violent. You see him right here spitting, but it doesn't talk about all the community outreach thing that he did. That the fact that his own mother would have told you that when Tupac passed, he was damn near broke because of all the money he would give away to foundations and to help other people. But you don't know these things by how you're perceived. You don't know these things by just the first glance when you post a picture on Instagram. People don't know those things. They're just taken into account with what they see in front of them. So when you post a picture, how does that picture or that instance in time, how does that represent you? And you have to keep that at the forefront of your mind because that's how people think. People think that's shallow. And it's shallow because they don't have an authentic, genuine relationship with you to get to know you. But you have to understand at first glance, that's what they see. So you have to keep that in mind. Next slide, please. All right. Personal statement. So the personal statement is very interesting. If anybody knows anything like about an elevator speech, an elevator speech is basically, you meeting someone for the first time and you letting them know exactly what you're passionate about, possibly how they can help you or fund an event that you're running, anything like that. But you have to be able to sell yourself very quickly and get across your message and as simplistic as possible, but passionate as well. So first, what is your target audience? You have to keep in mind what is your target audience when you're creating your brand, when you're creating your personal statement. Always think about who do you plan on helping, who do you want to reach, and at the end of the day, if you need funding, who do you want to break out that checkbook and write you a check to, and then stay authentic. Now, you young brothers, I always say this about Black kids in general, and I'm sure y'all know, like your little cousin or something. If somebody faking it comes up to your little 6-year-old cousin, your little 6-year-old cousin probably gonna tell him, "Yeah, I don't know about you." Like, because they don't have no filter. Most times kids that age don't have no filter. So if you come off like you're not genuine, if you come off like oh, how you doing, little kid, blah 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 blah, you talking with a baby voice and all that, most of the time Black kids gonna look at you like, yeah, get up out of here. Like or they'll clown you. I know my little cousins, they'll clown you. So with that being said, you have to be authentic. Like authentic in the manner of, even if you need something from me, be real with me. It's just keeping it a buck. Just being real with me. Let me know your intentions. Because at the end of the day, if you let me know your intentions, we might be able to talk about it without even the BS on top of it. Like raising hands, have anybody ever called in to their job sick? Like, you know, if y'all got part-times or whatever. Now, sometimes you can call in sick and just tell them what it is. Like, realistically, I couldn't get a ride to work, so I'm late, or I won't be able to come in because I couldn't get a ride to work. Instead of saying, yeah, how you doing? Man, I just I can't come in. I'm sick today. You know, when you BSing people, a lot of times people pick up on that. When you could have just originally had the real conversation up front. And a lot of times that real conversation will save you time, save you energy, and it'll save you on the back end because now you don't have to remember the lie. So just being authentic and genuine with people will save you a lot of energy. And you get to the point. You get to the meat of the conversation. And a lot of times when you're talking to investors, they want to know, what do you want from me? Because time is money. So if you can break down what you need from somebody quickly, you sound authentic, you're genuine, and you're intentional about what you need to accomplish, a lot of times you can get the yes really fast without bullshitting, honestly. Excuse my French. Now, this last one, make it punchy and memorable. When I say punchy, as in it sounds good, but memorable to the point where, okay, that brother Asa Rogers, I remember what he said, but he wasn't trying to use a whole bunch of big words, you know, but I could tell what he wanted from me was very genuine. Like him wanting to start an after school program. I could tell he's really passionate about that, you know, like, or Nathan Wright, he wants me to invest in a short film that he wants to shoot next summer. I can tell he's really passionate about the subject line, and he has his script already out, so he's on top of his game. Like, those are the different things that is going to make you memorable, set you apart from others, but at the same time, you know, it's jazzy a little bit. It sounds dope. So, for instance, Cordney keeps young Black men, that's the verb, in Oklahoma. Black men in Oklahoma is the target audience. Cordney keeps young Black men in Oklahoma determined. You got to find the value. What is the value in what you're trying to accomplish? How does it make your target audience feel? Determined. Through, now how you plan to do it? Determined through authentic relationship building, using what? What makes you unique? Using development techniques to instill and evolve their own esteem and personal goals. So I've told you what I want to do. I told you who my target audience is. I told you what I want, how I want the target audience to feel, and how I'm going to do it, and in which way, the way that I'm going to do it is unique from other people. And we're going to try this out. Next slide, please. So hopefully you guys can see this. I tried to squeeze it all in one slide. I want you to take a minute and just think about these. I know I don't want to run out of time. I think we're running out of time. Let me know, Liz. Let me know, Raven. But I just want you to think, and then we can send these questions out too. But these are questions that I want you to think about when you're building your brand, when you're building your personal statement. You need to know who your target audience is, what you plan to do, how you want to make them feel, and also how are you unique in the way that you're going to do it. And you can apply this to anything. Nathan, you can apply it to filmmaking. You can apply it. You can apply it to wanting to create an apparel brand. You can apply it to wanting to run a community outreach program. You can apply it to anything. Understanding your purpose and understanding your talent, what you're good at, and what your skills are. I want you to take a look at these, and we're going to send these out to you. I'm going to get with Liz and Raven to send these questions out to you, and the rest of the instructions on how to build your personal statement. But your personal statement should be something that you can present to anybody. You walk up to anybody, and you can say, Matter of fact, I'm gonna charge y'all to that. Everybody create a personal statement. I charge you. I challenge you. Create a personal statement and have one on you. So in any venue, because Black Male Initiative is going to create opportunities for you to be around a lot of people that can put you in great spaces. So you should be able to sit down with somebody and say, you know, my name is Trent Messer, and I do such and such, and this is why such and such, and I can do this. You know, you should be able to do that in any venue, because in any venue, you never know who can help you out. So we'll send these questions out to you. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Next slide, please. All right, set goals. So I need you to set your goals for building your brand. I want you to build your network. Building your network means that you reach out to people who either are experts at what you want to do. Nathan Wright, there are a lot of filmmakers in Oklahoma right now. Reach out to them. So you saying you don't have the resources is never an excuse when you can find the people who have the resources. Even if they let you do an apprenticeship, that means you're learning how to work all the equipment at a very young age. So there's never no excuse when you can reach out to people. And that's researching the experts in your field. Monetize your efforts. Find out different ways that you can, like if you have one of the latest iPhones, you can shoot a mini movie. People are doing it. So and being able to like it's a lot of like for me, I'm a poet. If you are great at shooting videos on your iPhone, I could hire you. That way you're monetizing what you want to do. You're already getting paid. You're 18, 19, already getting paid for shooting videos. And you know, it's a bang of rappers in Oklahoma City. So being able to do those things and figure out how to, and then you can rent a lot of those filming equipment as well. So there's plenty of different things that you can work, and being able to find out the resources without you having the front capital to do it with. You don't have to be a millionaire to make a million. Collaborate with like-minded people. Find out if you want to start a community center or a community outreach program. When you network, you will find other people who are interested in it as well. And if you can group together and you make yourself a little Wakanda, then you won't have to do it all by yourself. You know, you can have other individuals that are really about that life as well, and you don't have to put all that pressure, all those tasks, all those effort, all that energy on your shoulders. You can spread it out a bit, and all y'all can come up together. All right, next slide, please. And be active. So keep your LinkedIn, your Facebook, all of that up to date. Research, continue, always grow your network. Always find out who's doing what you're doing, not even in Oklahoma City. Reach out to other states, because I'm telling you, when you reach out to people who are already doing very well for themselves, they love talking about themselves. If you ask to have lunch with them and you want to pay for their lunch or whatever, they love talking about themselves. So if you just sit down and be like, oh, Mr. McClain, I just want to sit down with you and see how you became a diversity officer, see what your journey was like. So basically, you want to buy me lunch and you want me to talk about myself? Hell yeah, we can do that. You know, and other business experts, they think the same way. So say yes. Say yes to opportunity that displays your genuine interest. So when I first really started performing poetry, I was doing it for free because nobody knew I did it. You know, people in Oklahoma City knew of me, and I'm from Dale City all day. You know, Eagles 2003. So I'm from that. You know, I grew up on 23rd. The Baptist church I grew up on was 23rd off of Rhode Island. You know, so like I grew up on the east side and the south side. So people knew of me, but they didn't know I spit poetry. So I had to do a lot of stuff for free. So, but I did it. And when I showed up, I did it well. You know, like people remembered how well I spit when I was there. So those free engagements, because I said yes, because somebody reached out to me and they wasn't trying to pay me, but they asked me to spit. I came, I showed up, I showed out, I did my thing. I was looking fresh. My branding was nice. I was always professional. So I ended up getting other gigs. Those gigs, free gigs that I was doing for free, ended up leading me into paid gigs. So now I have the opportunity to go to different states for the pandemic and get paid to spit poetry. And literally in February 2018 is when I started doing it on stage for free. Within 6-7 months, I was getting paid for it because I was consistent. I said yes, and I networked well. Now, post and tell people about your dreams and accomplishments. Don't worry about bragging. People will tell you, you fed the homeless. You bragging. Why you posted? You posted it so people can understand what you're interested in. You're interested in selfless service. You're interested in community outreach. You're interested in giving back. So yes, I took a picture, or yes, I recorded me giving at the shelter. It works. It works. And when you do it, you inspire other people. So don't worry about posting your accomplishments, posting the community outreach you're doing. Somebody is watching this and you're inspiring somebody. It's like standing up at church, giving your testimony. Why you gonna stand up and brag about what the Lord did for you? How much sense that make? It sounds stupid, right? Why you stand up and brag about what the Lord did for you? It sounds stupid, right? Same thing about posting your accomplishments, posting your community outreach. It's stupid not to. Post it. Let people know what you're interested in. All right. Next slide, please. I believe that is it. So a quote of mine, code switching is not only a form of assimilation, but can be used as a tool for infiltration. Now, when I say infiltration, it's that, honestly, most spaces are white spaces, are predominantly white institutions. So you shouldn't have to assimilate and downplay your uniqueness to fit in. Now, you may have to play the game a little bit. Code switching, being able to switch up your vernacular a little bit, put on that, I call it my mom's bill collecting voice. You switch your tone a little bit, but all that does is it makes the people that you need to, open the door a little bit for you, makes them feel a little more comfortable. And everything is you playing chess, not checkers. So you want to make them feel a little comfortable. And then once you get up in there, you show out, you show up and you show out, and you show them you deserve to be in the room. You deserve to be in the company. You deserve to get the opportunity. And all of that has to do with branding. And understanding branding as a Black man is very influential because they do not want you in these spaces. You are fly, you're handsome, you're intelligent, you got swag. They don't want you in these spaces because you'll take them from them. So you have to understand what you have and that's in you. You are a king, but you have to display yourself in the manner in which to get the opportunity. So you have to work on your branding. My name is Cordney McClain. That's the presentation. My contact information is right there. Please reach out to me, and I'm open for mentorship anytime. Or we can just get on the phone and chop it up. I appreciate y'all having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. McClain. And Raven, if you could keep that slide up. Young men, I really encourage you, take this information down. Cordney is somebody, Mr. McClain is somebody you want in the room with you. Somebody who, when he was talking about things that make people who make things happen, people who know people, one of the most sincere, authentic, and genuine people. And for those of you who are at UCO, and for those of you who will be coming to UCO, this will not be the last you see of this incredible gentleman, but definitely reach out to him and make that connection. So now I just want to talk to you a little bit. And if you have any questions for him, please go ahead, email me, but you have his email. Any questions you have left over from this? I know there's a lot of awesome stuff that you may want to follow up on. Please do take that opportunity. So now we're going to talk for a few minutes about your the first assignment. So our assignments are totally built around this right here. This is creating your brand, or firming up your brand, and then being able to sell yourself, having that elevator speech so that no matter where you are, you're on right away. You know, in 30 seconds, in a minute, you can tell somebody who you are, why you are, and where you're going. And that's what we want to see from you. So this first assignment is part 1 of 2. It's our scholarship essay, which you actually, with a little bit of mixing things up, you can turn into a cover letter for an interview, or a letter of intent for grad school if you decide you want to go to grad school. So this thing is going to help you first know who you are, but second, let everybody else know who you are. And so our first mini assignment is to kind of identify who you are, just like Mr. McClain talked about. We want to highlight what makes you unique, because each one of you has incredible skills. Everybody else needs to know that too. So the first part of this, and the application, the link for your submitting the assignment will be open in about right now. And you have until Sunday at 6 to complete it. And it is just 3 questions for this assignment. It is to identify 3 qualities that apply to you. So highlight, like Mr. McClain talked about, this is a chance to talk about what makes you shine, what makes you stand apart from somebody else. The second part is identify 2 accomplishments that you have achieved. Could be right now in high school, could be right now in college, could be in your community, could be in your church community. Think about it. Maybe you're looking at yourself and going, well, I don't really accomplish anything yet. You have, and that's kind of a dig deep. You have done more than you probably think you have. And if you have any questions about that, or if you feel you haven't accomplished anything, I'm the one who's been sending you all these emails. You have my email address. Email me and we'll talk it out and we'll figure out, because I guarantee you have done 2 amazing things already in your life, and we're going to highlight those. The third part is we want you to identify 3 goals for your future. Okay, Mr. McClain talked about 5 things that he's known for. We just want you to kind of talk about 3 things. What do you want to be? And this is forming your future. So you know who you are, you know what you've accomplished, so you know you can accomplish more and bigger things than this. So then we want to think big about the future. Is it getting a job at a certain place? Cool. Is it getting into college? Is it completing your doctoral degree or your master's degree or your undergrad? Is it going to tech school? What is it that you want to accomplish in the future? Do you want to be a mentor? Do you want to change the community? You want to change the world? Let's bring it. And there is no dream too big for you to accomplish. And this is what we're working on to get this going for you. And I did also want to talk about something else that Mr. McClain talked about that I think was really important. You know, he said, stay consistent. Now, a lot of times we're working on something right now. Like time management and me are not best friends. I'm working on it. I'm not where I want to be yet, but you stay consistent. How do you stay consistent? You work on it a little bit every day. Practice does make it happen. So even if you say to yourself, a quality that maybe I would like to think about me, but maybe I'm not, but I'm working on it, that's okay, because we're going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen. And it's with those pieces that Mr. McClain talked about. So any questions from anybody about what's going on, what we're expecting from you, and if you need anything from me? I'll give you all a few seconds. And just pop up. Don't worry about raising your hand or anything. Just go ahead and speak up if you have a question.
This is Jack on Marshall. As you know, how do we, I don't know if I caught it or not, but how do we turn in the actual questions, answers to the questions? Is it on D2L or email?
Hey, Marshall, it is great to see you. And I'm sorry, I thought when I saw you later, I was like, oh, I missed you out. Hey, everybody, Marshall is another part of BMI, and he is incredible. So if you don't know him, Devin or Asa, you will, and they're amazing. So in the packet that I sent out with all like the 4 different documents, there should be a link to Qualtrics, and it is through that Qualtrics link that will be where you answer these questions. So, and it will also give you a chance if the email that I've been sending things to y'all isn't working, you can share a different email with at that point. But if you don't see it, please reach out to me and I will make sure that y'all have it.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Exciting. No more questions, right? We're all good? Okay. If y'all do, you know my email. Those of you on campus, you know where to find me. You have Mr. McClain's info. Your world has just been changed. I am so excited for your future. And I will see your assignments by 6. Yes, Nathan, did you have a question? Okay. I will hopefully see your assignments by 6 o'clock on Sunday. It's not too hard, especially if you are all fired up now. But any questions, email me, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for being here.